When a Texas Ranger is called to a crime scene, how do they collect the clues that help them capture a criminal? You'll see how science, math, and photography can help solve a murder mystery.
When we're called to a crime scene, our objective is to collect and preserve the evidence so that it can be used in court at some point in time. We'll take a video camera and we'll videotape the entire scene. And what it does is it provides a permanent record for what we see when we walk in. And that is used in court to give the jury an idea of what the crime scene looked like as we approached it and first began our investigation.
We take still photographs to completely and totally document the crime scene. But I always think in my mind, if something happens and we don't find whoever did this, if in 40 years, if an investigator picks up this file and they want to reopen this case, will they be able to look at my photographs and be able to step back in time and feel like they're in the room? So when I take photographs, I take a lot of photographs. I take pictures of items in that room that may be insignificant to me at the time, but in 40 years, someone else looking back on that may be very significant.
After we did the videotaping and the photography, I used what's called an alternate light source. Now this alternate light source puts out different waves of light, and light is measured in waves, and the different wavelengths create different colors. And the color that you saw me using today was blue, and the goggles that you saw me wearing were yellow. And when I combine these two colors together, it filters out certain wavelengths of light and allows me to see physical evidence that may be on the body or at the crime scene that I'm not able to see with the naked eye. We call this trace evidence. So the purpose of gathering physical evidence, and particularly trace evidence, is to be able to determine who may have been at this crime scene, which helps us determine who committed the crime.
We have the markers that are numbered 1 through however many we need. We place them within a crime scene to document evidence that is going to be within that crime scene. Placing the markers helps you to organize your evidence, so when you document it on paper, you can correspond a number with the item. There is a scale on the edge of each marker. You place the marker parallel with the item of evidence. That assists you whenever you take photographs, you can get an accurate measurement of whatever that piece of evidence is. We do a scale diagram of each crime scene. We would use tape measures, and we would run an x-axis and a y-axis. Your x-axis is going to be your baseline. Your y-axis is going to be how you measure your points off of your x-axis. You'll be able to tell distance between items of evidence and pieces of furniture in the room, doorways, windows.
When we do our sketch, we'll know exactly how they fit and where they are in relation to other things that are in the room.
A fingerprint is always something that we look for, and we always look in common areas such as doorknobs or locks, anywhere where anyone would have touched something to enter in or exit a room.
We swab for DNA in areas that we normally look for fingerprints also.
DNA is your biological fingerprint. Everyone's is different, except for if you have an identical twin, then that twin will have the same DNA as you. You can find DNA in saliva, you can find it in blood, you can find it from skin cells, from where anyone touched a surface. We swab the area in question, and then we put it back into a portion of the envelope, and then we secure it and seal it inside of another envelope. Once the crime lab gets them, they will remove them from the package in a sterile environment, and they will test them for DNA. And there's a possibility of 3 people coming up with DNA on one swab. from a doorknob. But our crime lab has the technology to be able to separate those DNAs into separate individuals.
When the evidence collected is combined with other investigative work, such as suspect interrogations and forensic sketches, a case can then be taken to trial.
Your integrity is the thing that shines through when you go to court. The defense oftentimes will try and attack the integrity of the officer who's doing the investigation in order to create reasonable doubt and get their client off. When you have integrity in everything that you do, then it makes it very difficult for them to make that case.
We owe it to the victims. We owe it to society. We owe it to the people of the state of Texas to find the truth and to make sure whoever is responsible for whatever crime is prosecuted and convicted.